You guys are the ones, some of you I'm sure spent the night waiting in line, so let's get you guys rewarded, and you can just brag about the fact that you saw it first, okay? And with that, it is my pleasure to get the Terminator Dark Fate panel started.
And then he just left.
Can you guys hear me? Yeah, Jim Cameron here. I'm streaming in live from Pandora, or more accurately, the set of Avatar 2, 3, and 4, which you can see behind me.
Journalist and Miss Movie Phone herself, Ray Drake.
15th anniversary, you made it in here, your temperature is regulating, we all smell amazing. San Diego Comic-Con at 50 years old, at half a century, looks so good, it's like if Paul Rudd was a Comic-Con. Amazing. So let's just recap what you guys have already seen. You made it in, you have already seen James Cameron live. Okay, yeah. And you have this unbelievable poster from artist Nivan Chinthara. We have so much more good stuff that's on its way, all right? I have to do my power pose. Because I'm convinced that I have learned this from the films that you are about to hear us talk about. For those of you, I'm so excited to be here as Ms. Movie Phone, I have to tell you. Because for those of you who are familiar with my namesake, just gonna kick this panel off with this. Hello, and welcome to Comic-Con. You have selected Terminator Dark Fate. Okay, so as you can tell from that behind the scenes, there's gonna be like a little bit of language during this panel, and if there's anyone who's a little sensitive in the audience, prepare for some earmuffs, because if you recall from some of these films, there are lines such as, like, chill out, dickwad, and you're terminated, fucker, and that's just how this is gonna be. So everybody settle down, and let me instead remind you of like some of the reasons that we love this series, right? Like this is the series that when I first saw it, made me want to learn how to do pull-ups. And I tried and I can't do them, but I wanted to learn how to do pull-ups. It made me think that really intensely chasing after cars was a good idea. And it also, like when I saw one of the characters in this movie just spin a shotgun around, and while he's riding a motorcycle, I was like, I am going to vote for that man for governor. And so, with that, I'm so excited to talk about these Terminator movies. Terminator Dark Fate, you guys already have the hashtags. Light up social media, and right now put your hands together for the director, Tim Miller. From people in the front, you guys are the best. We also love you in the back. We're just leaving things out.
You know how they bring the bad comedian out before they bring the good one out to like warm up the audience?
Yes, that's me, Tim. Thank you so much.
That's me.
So first and most important question, when you're working with someone like James Cameron, are you allowed to nicknameify him as like Jimbo, Jim Time, Jim Visit? No? Nothing?
Not if there are any sharp objects within reach of Cameron, which there usually are, if not firearms.
Make a note of it. Everybody out there, never call him Jimbo. That's useful.
I have a secret name for him, but it's only for him and I.
Are you sure that you wouldn't like to tell this very intimate audience?
No, I think it would make him uncomfortable if everyone knew, so.
Can I just pretend that you said it was Pookie Pie and we move on?
Yes, let's.
You're in Hall H for the second time.
He's going to do the Pokemon sequel. You didn't know that. That's his next move.
People are going to report on that now, and it'll officially be our fault. So, great. This is your second time in Hall H as director,
Yes.
right? Because you guys remember when Tim was here for a little film you might remember called Deadpool.
Can I just say it's also my 25th Comic-Con.
And it's the 50th anniversary. You've been here half.
I've never gotten into Hall H except when I directed Deadpool. You people have more dedication. I was never willing to sleep outside overnight to get in here. So I applaud you.
Yeah,
Well done.
you guys are amazing. And so, basically, let's start at the beginning of this, and let's talk about how you got involved with this franchise that is so meaningful to so many people.
While Deadpool was in post, David Ellison came to talk to me about something else. I was going to help another director with the project, and I showed him an early cut of Deadpool, and he really liked it. It was far from finished at the time, and then he started talking about Terminator, and it's David's favorite film. Like many of us, it's what got him into the movie business. And he said, you know, I didn't do it as well as I wished the first time around, but I'm not giving up. I want to try again, and would you be interested in helping with that? And I'm like, fuck yeah. Oh, by the way, if I say fuck more than 5 times, Arnold wins $20. So that's 2. Count them all.
It's like, we're gonna have to walk through this carefully.
It's a minefield.
Yeah, right? But connect the dots as much as you can for where this movie picks up.
Well, but you know what? This is like the only audience that I could get like way inside baseball with.
Cool.
But the time travel, for me, I loved Endgame. I think it's fantastic. I'm a huge Marvel nerd. However, I feel like time travel with multiple realities loses some stakes. If you can change time and it could be anything, but it could be multiple or alternate timelines. I feel like you lose a little bit of the dramatic stakes. And so in the Terminator universe, there is only one time. If you change something in the past, the time wave rolls forward and it changes the future. So Jim in his 2 movies really didn't have to deal with the consequences of that, because they're trying to make sure that what happened happens again, all the way up until the end of Terminator 2 when Sarah says, fuck it. Thank you. Looks like I'm just going to win $20.
I think he's earned $20.
So what happens before it has happened? But at the end of Terminator 2, she casts all the dice on the table and destroys Cyberdyne. So you don't know what the consequences of that decision was. She hopes it's good. We wouldn't have a movie if it was. And so that's the most interesting story. It's the consequences of Sarah's decision at the end of Cyberdyne. And I think all of us, it's a very relatable thing because everybody makes these choices every day. At my advanced age, you look back on life and you go, man, that one little stupid thing I did led to this or that. For me, it's mostly been, I've been so lucky. I'm the luckiest nerd on planet Earth. But sometimes it's not so lucky. And that's what we explore. So Sarah's been, she's living with the consequences of that decision, and we see how it rolls out 20-some years later.
And specifically, the level of what I'm going to call kick-assery in this is going to like make the movie rated. Please say R.
Am I supposed to? Yes, it's officially an R-rated. You know why? It's because it wasn't always that way. I'll tell you that, and it's because the fans kind of demanded it in a way. They felt,
Yeah.
it's true. I had a whole other plan in case it didn't go R. I had a backup plan, but the thing is that the DNA of Terminator is an R-rated fucking movie. So
5.
Get your wallet open, Arnold!
So to not do it R feels disingenuous to the source material. So we knew that's what the fans wanted. We knew that's what we wanted to do. And even though it was up in the air, that was always my plan. And so I got so many takes of Linda saying "fuck."
That doesn't count.
Yes! Okay, now let's just take a complete segment of the panel to talk about Linda saying fuck.
I have so many takes of Linda saying fuck. It's amazing. But none of Arnold. He wouldn't say.
What?
Yeah, robots don't curse.
Once again, robots proved to be far better than you or I.
That's right.
But working with Linda Hamilton on this movie, let's actually dedicate time to getting
Let's
her
do
back.
that.
How did you
I love
do it?
Linda.
Right?
Jim called Linda, and like we said at the beginning, we didn't know if she would do it because there's a lot of reasons not to take that risk. For her, why do it? Because you've had these two knock it out of the park successes. Why come back and take the risk? Especially, I mean, let's be honest. I made one film. I could have gotten super lucky, and maybe you guys will see this and say, "Yeah, you got fucking lucky." But I don't. I tried very, very hard not to. Mostly because I didn't want to let down Linda because she's pretty scary. But the chance to tell her story again was the draw for me. We just didn't know if she would, and then Jim called her, and eventually she called him back and said she'd do it. She can tell you why. She's got a lot of good reasons for why she does it, but I think it's the perfect time for her to come back, and I think the way she came back, she was so dedicated to doing it, it was incredible.
I think it's time that we ask
Let's
her
do it.
ourselves. Everybody welcome our Sarah Connor, Linda Hamilton!
No.
Linda, you can stand wherever you want, honestly. Like, do your thing, girl.
It's so scary.
Why don't you just show Linda Hamilton some more love? I don't know if it succeeded in making it scarier or more loving, but we're excited that you're here. So go ahead and take a seat because I have many, many questions for you.
All right. Here we go.
Now, in my considerable cyber stalking of you, I have heard you say that it really took you a long time to make the decision to participate, regardless of the call from James Cameron, aka Pookie Pie.
I call him Jimbo.
Oh, thank you. Linda Hamilton ain't scared. She's telling us his nickname, Tim. So
She slept with him. I haven't.
Only once.
this is a fucking dream come true. So let's talk about, was there a pivotal moment for you in that long decision-making process? Like, what made you decide? Was there one thing or was there one hope that you had? What was it that made you come back? Because you did not have to.
No, I didn't, and I really gave it careful consideration because I felt that the first two were very intact, and you kind of want to retire a champion or rest on your laurels, as he said. But it was the passage of time, and I was very intrigued by, the character is the same, but time changes everything, and what has happened, who is she now, what has happened to make her who she is now, and there were so many more possibilities 27 years later that I felt that there was just a world of richness that I could explore, and then rock it as a woman of a certain age.
Seeing you as this character in these movies has made such a deep impression on people that I want to talk about what it's like for you with life experience, coming back into the role and also training for that role, because I've seen the stuff, Linda. Like, you're not messing around in this movie. You could easily, like, kill me with your bare hands right now. And might. I mean, but
If it doesn't go well.
So talk about that, like coming back into it with all this life and experience in between and what's going on with the character for you.
Well, that was what appealed to me, was that it wasn't just going to be cookie cutter, same, you know, it can't possibly be the same because 27 years have gone by.
Yeah.
I originally thought I'll just put in the same kind of work and get the same results. And that doesn't happen. Training-wise, you know, worked really hard for a good year, diet and all of that to sort of, you know, get trim and get as far into the character as I could physically. But one day I woke up and I was like, you know what, I can no longer worry about trying to be what I was, because I am so much more than I was. And that was the moment that I realized I really wanted to really be on board with this, that the richness of my life experience is only going to enrich the character that I play, and that just gave me so much to work on, the backstory stuff that you won't see but you will see in my performance.
Right.
You know, and going to just the, you know, people will always talk about the training in the body, but really the work of an actor, I mean, the hard work that I did was the deep exploration of a woman whose pretty much an outsider, whose life hasn't worked out well, and who's lost so much. And that's the true work, is to explore the interior landscape of a character who I just had to go to my deepest sorrows and my places of deepest loss. And that's what makes Sarah Connor, Sarah Connor.
Yep. Oh, the hugging and swearing.
Fucking right.
We're not just hugging for you guys. We hug a lot on the set. Very huggy set.
Come on, Arlo!
I should have put it in over under at least 9.
Yeah.
I won the bet because he said that I bet any money that Tim is going to say fuck at least 4 times, and I said no, he's going to say minimum 5 times. Well, I counted it all together, it was 10 times. So that's why he gave me now $20, because that's what we bet. Tim just loves talking about it. I like doing it. This is off the record. Because we're in the group record. I don't want to read this shit anyway, okay?
I think we should have a little contest and keep score on that motherfucker.
That's the Terminator panel. Thank you so much for coming out.
Imagine how set was like.
Yeah. I just want to know what you're going to spend $20 on, Arnold.
Well, there's a lot of options available, especially since the economy is going so well under Donald Trump. But maybe I'm getting a protein shake for both of us.
All right.
Maybe we need it, yeah.
All right, I like that. It's always about training. I know the line is, "I'll be back." But what is the reason that you decided to join this movie?
Well, first of all, I want to correct you right off the top, even though you've done a great job until now. Because it's absolutely incorrect to say that I don't need to come back. Of course I need to come back. I mean, it's like, I'm addicted to Terminator. I mean, it's like Terminator was the movie that really launched my action movie career. I did Conan the Barbarian before then and Conan the Destroyer. And then after that, Jim Cameron came to me and says, I want you to be in Terminator and I want you to play the Terminator. From that moment on, everything has changed in my life, and I've done that after Commander and Predator and Red Heat and all the True Lies and all those movies, and we really created the 80s and the 90s kind of an action genre. So I think that Terminator was really a very, very important movie for me in 1984. It was a very important movie for me in 1991. It became the highest grossing movie of that year. And it was one of those really unique characters where you were amongst the top 10 villains and scariest kind of characters, but at the same time you were also amongst the top 10 heroic characters. So that's unheard of. And only someone like Jim Cameron can create something like that. So I feel very indebted to Jim Cameron for having created this character and these movies. And I'm so happy that he's part of this one again, and that he brought everyone together again, and that he and Linda came back, and that they were smart enough to get Tim Miller to direct it, because he was the perfect guy to direct it. So I think that you all will be really surprised at this movie, because it has come out really unbelievable, and I was blown away when I just saw it 3 weeks ago for the first time.
Arnold gets $100 every time he mentions Jim Cameron. Just so you know. Some footage. No, he's not. He's not going to talk about politics. 20 minutes.
I just want you to just keep sitting here and quoting yourself. That's kind of, I'm into that.
Arnold's supposed to announce it, right?
Yep.
Arnold.
It's all you.
What do you got to say about some fucking footage we're going to show these fucking people?
Let's not talk about it. Show the footage. Come on.
Yeah.
Do it now.
That's what I'm talking about! Ladies and gentlemen, I am here to bring a very special person out here to talk to you about a film. A film that has long been anticipated and now will soon be here. A film that has great meaning for San Diego. A film we've been waiting for a long, long time. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare to say hello to the biggest movie star you're going to meet in a long, long time, Mr. Tom Cruise!
Thank you. I'm feeling that lovely feeling. I definitely feel that lovely feeling. Great movie audience you all are. 34 years ago, I made a movie in San Diego, right here. I actually shot across the street in a restaurant. And you all have asked for many, many years, and traveling around the world, people have said, "Why do you do another one? When are you going to do another one?" In 34 years, you guys have been very, very patient with me. And I felt that it was my responsibility to finally really deliver for you. And I have a little piece here if you want to see it. This is our very first trailer. You are the first people in the world to see it. And everything you see in this film, obviously, it's for real. So the flying, you know, we're working with the Navy. All of the flying that you see in this picture, everything is real. And I really wanted to give you all an experience of what it is to be inside that aircraft. And for me, Top Gun is about competition. It is about family. It is about sacrifice. It is about heroism. You know, and it's about aviation. And I love aviation. It's a love letter to aviation. So would you all like to see it? Yeah, you all are. You're a great audience. You are a great audience. You see,
ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it.
What the heck was that about?
I was not. I didn't know about what's happening.
She's crying.
She's crying.
Tom Cruise studio.
I'm not even a fan, and I'm impressed.
I can't believe it. I'm sorry.
Coming up next,